Okay, Lars, so you explained how this project was born on Danish ground with Swedish influence and with a Chinese inspiration, and then everything fell together into a project on a place. And this is the second year that this project is bigger than it was before. It grew already from a baby, but let's say the last 2 years it's like a young grown up.
Yeah, that's right.
And there is something weird about it.
What do you mean?
Well, you're looking at it and you think, well, there's something really different here, and it looks like if the players, the kids, have a lot to say. How come?
Yeah, how come? That's my philosophy in life. My philosophy in life is that we are all humans. We are not table tennis players. We are human table tennis players. We are not football players. We are human football players. We are not teachers. We are human teachers. So, and I see that in the society today, sometimes we forget it. I go to schools, and in these schools sometimes I see that we do not develop the human aspect of the humans. Maybe we're very good and focused on mathematics, biology, table tennis, right forehand technique, but not focus on the human aspect. And for me, table tennis will always be part of that. Some children come for 2 years in the environment, other for 20 years. But somehow it also has to develop the human part of us. So that's something I'm very focused on. And how do we develop the human part? I had an assignment for the Norwegian government in South Africa, where I helped them to build national bodies after the '93. And there I met Desmond Tutu, the Archbishop. And Desmond Tutu, he was talking about something they call Ubuntu. And I understand that Ubuntu is the same thing that I'm thinking about. And he said like this, that you cannot be human in isolation. You can only be human among other humans. What does he mean? You know, what he means that we develop the things that we do. So if you meet human and you're treated human and you collaborate with that, you will develop the human in yourself. And for me, that's the real base of this here. So if I take that over to table tennis, what does that mean? That means that the table tennis player here own his own table tennis, own his own development, not the coaches, but them. So we learn each other here to respect each other. The coaches to respect the players, the players to respect the coaches, the players to respect the players, because this is part of creating this frame of a human development. How do we respect? So just second before this interview, I talked to a young man here, and he was angry because he didn't have a ferry ticket home, and he thought that I should have that ferry ticket. So he thought that, but you're not the boss here. I want the ticket, you should have the ticket. And I tell him, I have nothing to do with your tickets. I don't know anything about your tickets. And I kept my balance, even though he was shouting. And afterwards, he came to me, this 16-year-old guy, and he said to me, "I'm sorry, I lost my temper. Now I understand that you had nothing to do with our tickets." So that made me happy, because maybe that little thing for him was more important than a topspin with a forehand. And these things happen all the time. These opportunities is everywhere. I always say to coaches when I teach them that, do you know that enormous influence that you have on the children and the players. Because for many players, this is the first time in their life they had chosen something on their own. And you are the one holding what they want, which gives you an enormous power. Use it wisely. Use it wisely. Show respect. Be humble. Listen to the player. Because in that situation, that they really want something from you, and you can give it to them in a collaboration with shared respect, that might be one of the most important things that we can learn each other.
And when we would look in the end at a table tennis player, which is this kind of human development, what would we see?
For the first, you will see a person that will benefit for the rest of their life. Because what they learned in table tennis, they can also use when they ended that part of their life. And let's be frank, 90% or 95% of them, it's just a short period of their life, you know. So this is one thing. They have learned something for life. Another thing is that they own their own passion. They develop their passion. It's their passion. It has to come from them. And passion goes hand in hand with responsibility, with consciousness, with choice. These things are connected. So you can see, just like the Chinese says here, that it's fantastic here that you ask players, you want to have an extra exercise in the evening? Yeah, we want, you know. And they stand in here, you know, and they are so concentrated and so passionate. And the Chinese says that would never happen in China. If we say to a child in China, do you want to train in the evening? Do I have to? Yes. Oh, have to train in the evening, also in the evening. You know, so this is what you can see here. Go around, look here. See the light in the eyes of the children, of the players. See the passion, see the commitment. This is what we get for it, you know. Some 4 small boys from the group with the weakest player, they came to me last night. 10 minutes to 7. From 7 to 8, the players from group 3, they were having sparring, individual sparring with Chinese coaches. And then they came to me, you know, and they said to me, Lars, is it possible that we could be part of that? We know that we have had our share, but could we be part of it? And I said, well, I don't know, because I don't know if there is enough places for you, but why do you want to come in there? And they said, and then they took up, you know, because everybody here has a little book, you know. Then they took up this little book and they opened it. Yeah, you can see, during the discourse with the coaches, we landed in that we have to do these exercises. And they're Chinese in there. What would be better than we go in there trying these exercises? And I said to them, you know, determined like you, so determined that you are, so responsible that you are. That deserves a serious answer. Let's go in and talk to them and see if it's possible. It was possible.
And when you think about inviting people for the coming years, on what premises do you think they should consider coming here and train, and how do you invite them?
You know, most people, I think, is invited because they hear from others. They hear from others that if you choose these camps, you will be listened to. You will have coaches that are attentive. You will be respected. You will develop a consciousness about how you win your own matches, what's your strengths, what's your weaknesses. You will develop knowledge about how you create the exercise for yourself. You will bring that into the exercise room and the coaches will listen to you. This is what I think they will hear. And I think it's important that we have this organic development, because a lot of players, they have learned to be small newborn birds sitting in the nest, you know, with open mouth, waiting for the food from the coaches to come in and chewing the food well, in the belief that if we chew the food well, then we will be the best. So of course a lot of players, they come here if they don't know anything about the camp and think we only have to open our mouths, the food will come for the coaches. And some of them might be disappointed because that's not what they will get. So therefore I think actually it's good that we develop organically, that they have an idea what's happening here, that they have to be responsible, they have to be part of it in another way than some of them are used to. And it's the same with the coaches. It's also good, you know, because many coaches, we are used to giving food to small birds sitting there with open mouth. We gather them round the table and we give our instructions and we smile to them and say, have you eaten? Have you understood? And then they go out and they do the exercise that we. So also in the same way, you know, it's good that the coaches know what's this camp for. Because, you know, we're not used to that. I was not used to that either when I was a coach. You know? I learned to give food.
Okay. Thank you very much for this wisdom.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.